What is the metaverse and how do we apply our businesses to it? What's going on? Hey, everybody, Logan Skees here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today, we're going to look for answers. So, I've seen things coming out like digital architecture, building virtual buildings in the metaverse, digital fashion designers in the metaverse. These things are all very interesting, but in the more sophisticated sense, in what way do we apply our business concepts within this metaverse? People are discussing the metaverse to be a new version of the web. We've seen Facebook rebrand recently. That's been a large catalyst for public awareness. Those who have been in the space for some time understand this is nothing new. This is the emergence of many technologies that have been trending towards this eventuality for some time. So the real question that I want to explore with you today, and I want to take you on a journey with me here in a moment. If we are a solopreneur, a small to medium-sized business owner, or a group of executives, how do we understand the metaverse within the context of a business environment, more than just owning a virtual plot of land in an ecosystem like Decentraland, more than having a NFT hosted within a virtual art gallery? How do we have practical use cases for all of these ideas of the metaverse? Now, as a Marine veteran, a entrepreneur, and a fitness coach, I have a unique perspective. So I'm thinking about a persistent virtual space where people can engage in social, educational, entertainment, collaborative activities. It's a virtual universe akin to that found in Ready Player One. I do want to provide some tactical insights into our perspective of the metaverse. My team and I have been inquiring as to the best way to work remotely, enhance culture, streamline team alignment, and maximize stakeholder value while delivering a world-class customer experience. And what we've developed is a platform that visualizes the entire sphere of a business in one virtual space. Now, this space is two-dimensional. Those of you who have seen the virtual worlds within VR, AR devices, you've seen spatial computing technology where things are projected in a three-dimensional sense, whether it's a standalone VR experience or something that's meshed over physical reality, like a Magic Leap goggle or Microsoft HoloLens, for example. But what I'm looking at here is something a little more familiar in terms of it's two-dimensional. I've got a model here represented. So this is one of the venture map concepts. You can zoom out, get a big picture overview. You can zoom in and see specific pieces of the puzzle. You can see what's going on with individual deliverables. For example, now this is a single linear structure. We view this as a low fidelity prototype, but we can look at other types of assets. Something we've explored a lot recently is swimming upstream. Originally, we used to focus a lot of our routing of a virtual map for the business within the guiding principles, answering Simon Sinek's starting with why framework, that bullseye chart. What's the purpose of why we're doing something? And that would really be the inception point that where the rest of a business's visualization would flourish. Surrounding the core purpose or the nucleus is the just cause, the mission statement, vision, why we're doing what we're doing as a group. Surrounding that is the team, who is around that vision, what are their attributes, what are our aspirational core values, and then how do we interact, what are our operations, and then beyond that, what our solution is, and that manifests into our go-to-market strategy, offer, sales funnel, customer experience, all process-oriented aspects of the business. Recently, we've asked ourselves, what if we swim further upstream, further left, and we've been doing a deep dive into a space my colleague and I are really passionate about. Here's Jack and I. We've been modeling a few rough concepts. You may have seen the Ikigai before. If I butchered that pronunciation, go ahead and let me know. This is a really phenomenal structure from the Japanese origin that we were looking to push it from beyond this organizational vision and have the inception point begin at the personality level. We like to say that there's a good fit with teammates in an organization when our passions, our purpose, our proficiencies are all woven into one thing. That vocational role, that space on the team, that seat on the bus that we have is the embodiment of those things. So first and foremost, who we are on our team is our best selves every day. For those of you who are business management geeks such as myself, you may have read the book Five Dysfunctions of a Team. They've got an excellent framework in there, such as healthy confrontation. Will Wright's masterclass on game theory and design is tremendous. We've been looking at the Enneagram personality types and the DISC, Myers-Briggs Strengths Finders. There's a lot of great personality assessments, extracting content on emotional intelligence from behavior change books. We've had a lot of fun doing deep dives into how we can apply a positive psychology coaching framework into our workplace environment. How can we bake that into the core architecture of our daily experience? Because one of the greatest authors in the narrative driven customer experience space is Joey Coleman, and his customer life cycle phases framework discuss how we build a customer experience of surprise and delight is starts with the employees. So we want to take that one step further and say, how can our customer experience help meaningfully transform the end user from their current state to the desired state? Well, that involves to a certain extent behavior change. And we want to bake those core concepts and best practices into the DNA of our working experience. So we've been having a lot of fun exploring those things. We've looked into values and vision setting at an individual level from a behavior change coaching perspective. And we want to gamify this and streamline it in a way that's not just showing up to check a box for the boss. It's actually a game. So showing up to work every day is engaging, and it's more than that. It's telling the story of your career, and it's doing so with a guide who cares, understands, and has mastery in the space. A big question we've asked ourselves, I love this, what is the nucleus? It doesn't really begin with the organization's vision. It begins with the individual's vision. There's a great quote that says, the strength of the team is its individuals, and the strength of the individuals is the team. So we've been doing a lot of analysis into team alignment, company culture, autonomy in the workplace, and how to maximize the remote working environment. We've been loving these academic principles of mutual understanding and common ground, evolutionary anthropology, trust and psychological safety, nonviolent communication, and how to incorporate these in a more meaningful way than just putting them up on a wall somewhere or discussing them in a group workshop. We're playing around with brand architecture to represent this in a way that's a living, breathing version of every component of the business. We believe it's possible to represent the totality of that ecosystem in a way that's beautiful, culturally relevant, gamified. A company vision is really a outpouring of the founders, of the leadership, and their vision. It doesn't. So that's where we have been exploring some additional look and feel to the venture map. As a Marine infantry guy, I typically like to go with this subdued olive drab marine green, but I think we're seeking out a new, fresh, streamlined look. We've been surprised that people have been clicking on the links to get a free venture map. We've asked, which venture map do we give them? Admittedly, we haven't been able to follow through as much. For those of you who are familiar with the Strategizer series and the Lean Startup experimentation sequences, we've been effectively running a 404 test on our Get Your Free Venture Map call to actions at the bottom of these videos. Russell Brunson in Traffic Secrets discusses something to the effect of, don't expect any traffic to come from your content marketing strategy within the first 90 posts. So we've kind of approached these first several dozen posts without any expectations of anyone watching them, simply as a process of documenting our journey and getting familiarized with the practice of video production and distribution. So we were surprised that people actually have been clicking on those call to actions. So we've been, a few folks that have come in, we found this drop off in terms of usability, because you come into one of these and they're just absolutely monstrous, and it can be difficult to understand how to begin. And we're trying to find a way to invite our community members in and start them in a way that's gamified, highly engaging, drives agency and ownership, reinforces psychological safety, and helps exhibit the user's mind on the screen in real time. We believe these venture maps will effectively become tokenized as NFTs and wholly owned by the end user, and then eventually represented in a spatial context as massive panels. And we'll be able to represent giant components of the business, from our internal team projects, financial strategy, business objectives, customer experience, marketing, and sales. Everything will be represented in a way that's much more of a command center. So that's our long-term vision for this capability set for our community as a whole. We just finished a case study with a great friend and client, Matt Beck. He's a CEO from Floatate, and Floatate is a flotation tank therapy business here in South Florida. Had the privilege of knowing him for many years, working with him consistently for over a year. He has been so generous to allow us to represent the great work we've done in his board with the world. It's been so meaningful to help produce this body of work alongside of him and his team. So huge shout out to Matt, as his visionary leadership remains at the upper echelons in his industry, and he's really redefining what culture and efficiency means for his organization. That being said, when you look at a real complete venture map with everything from business objectives to active projects, team training manuals or processes, and then the experience map, starting that from scratch can be massively daunting. If you guys have seen K2, it's the most deadly mountain on earth, more deadly than even Everest out in the Himalayas. This is kind of like that. It's a perilous journey. It can take many months, and if not over a year, to really get a detailed, high fidelity representation of all the various aspects in an organization. And that's a current state analysis. Now, we have conducted a lot of work to understand how to streamline our data extraction and visualization processes. So we do believe that it's possible to consolidate the development of a bespoke map. Our goal is to gamify that and bring it to life with real-time data. So looking forward into 2022, we want our venture maps to not only be relevant, highly usable, driving agency towards the owners and teammates, but also living and breathing with the actual data of the business. So if you've watched this far, I'm going to provide you with the same offer that I've provided on all my other videos, which is if you want a free venture map, just click the link below. Tell me where to send it. We're working on improving that experience. I promise it won't be a 404, dead link test for too much longer. I will get those over to you. And for those of you out there who have run off the rails and been part of our desirability hypothesis testing sequence and have ended up not receiving their free venture map, I promise we have a lot of surprise and delight in store for you to say thank you for your trust, thank you for your patience, and we want to over deliver moving forward into the new year. We've got a lot in store for those who have faith in us thus far. We've got something quite special in store for you. So if you're just now finding out about the venture map and you want to understand how you can take the next steps to develop your own, whether you're a solopreneur, small to medium-sized business owner, or an executive at a larger organization, you can just click that link below. Let me know where to send the free version, and we'll start trickling out step-by-step sequences for the first 10 days on how to begin. And we'd love your feedback in the meantime, how you implement and leverage the venture map. So we're going to start with a blank canvas. We're going down the road of less is more. So something more simplified is probably what you'll end up seeing. We will have some free video coaching that comes out, and also I'll be walking you through the development of some of this collateral so you can understand how to develop your go-to-market strategy, how you're crafting your offer, sales funnel, customer experience, brand's narrative, creative identity, team culture, all of these things, and then representing that in a two-dimensional metaverse that's perfectly staged to become tokenized as an NFT, owned through the blockchain, and represented through a three-dimensional metaverse as 2D panels where you can bring your remote colleagues in on a daily basis and work together on a project that aligns your passions, purposes, and proficiencies in one cohesive space. So I hope you got value out of this video. Let's go ahead and take that next step by clicking the link below, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the other side.